Guys, so today I'm going to be talking about what I think are some vintage staples, like things that you could get at the thrift store, things that I think are better to get at the thrift store because you get better quality, better price. No, it all comes with a story and it has, a little bit more character. Plus, obviously, there is such a massive debate and I don't want to say issue, but a lot of people are trying to limit their consumption of fast fashion. Like stuff that you would buy on, I guess, the high street, going out, Forever 21, H&M, Topshop, like places like that. Stuff that you would buy online that people manufacture and make, all that jazz in favor of thrifting. So before I start and kind of show you guys a couple of what I believe are staples that you should get at the thrift store and like some really good vintage finds that you can get, is I just have a recommendation. And this goes across the board. Like if you're somebody who just feels like they don't care, they don't, I don't mean you don't care in a sense of like of the deeper issue regarding like sustainability and thrifting and all that stuff. I mean, like, you just don't care in a sense of like you don't care to wear thrifted clothing, you don't care to wear hand-me-downs or other people's clothing and stuff like that. I understand, to each their own. I have nothing against you. I've bought in fast fashion, I still do at times. Like, it is what it is. It's not like I'm not some moral high ground like pearl clutcher. You don't have to, no judgments here. But this is just something that I recommend for any kind of shopping. Do your measurements. Do your measurements. Knowing your measurements is so important, and I don't think it's something that's necessarily like spoken about a lot. I've been doing my measurements since I was probably like 13 years old. It's not something that anybody taught me to do. It was just something that I felt like made sense. Like one day I just decided to do my measurements, and then, I started Googling about it, learning about it, and it's made shopping so much easier for me. I'm kind of someone where, especially if I'm by myself, like if I'm shopping for something specific, I want to go in and go out. Like I just want to be done with it. I want to go there, get to the point of why I'm there, finish it, and then leave, and then go do whatever else I want to do or have to do during the day. So knowing my measurements has been so essential to having a good idea of what clothes will fit me regardless of size. Sizing is difficult. Not only is it difficult, I think it makes people feel like shit. I mean, like, let's be real here. Sizing sucks. It's hard. It's different across the board. You can go to one place and be 2-3 sizes smaller than you are in another place. I think it makes people confused. I think it makes people have kind of like a distorted way of how they see their bodies and how they, are even able to understand like what clothing they feel good in or what clothing they might want to wear or what they could wear. You know what I'm saying? So I'd never ever shop by size. Like I always just do my measurements. I find it so much easier. I find that, if I'm in a thrift store or something, if I know I have a whatever inch waist or a whatever inch hip, I know that when I look at the measurements, or if I get a brand at a thrift store that goes by, whatever sizing, like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, stuff like that, I can always Google the brand and look at their size chart and look for their measurements and get, whatever size could work for me. I think that is so much easier. I think it gives you a better idea of your actual natural body shape. I think it helps people style themselves in a way that's super flattering for them, that makes them feel more confident. Like I personally, I am not a fan of the idea of like body positivity. I think it's a load of shit. I think it is wrong, and I think it can be really toxic in a sense. And of course, if people see this, they're going to be like, oh, well, like you're a slim chick, like who cares about your opinion? And I get it, and I understand, but I've also been bigger. Like I have been a mid-size, or like what would be considered like a curvy kind of like 10, 12. I have been that mid-size where you feel like you don't know where you're gonna shop, you don't know what will fit you or what won't fit you, which sizing, which brand. I have been there. So I do have a bit of experience with that sort of thing, and I understand how it can make you feel like shit, and I don't think there's any point in tricking yourself. I just don't. I'm more of a believer, I guess, in body, like, neutrality. It's like, at the end of the day, this is the only body I have, right? It's the only body I have, and sometimes it's not the body that I want. That's just the truth. Sometimes it's not the body that I want. I mean, let's be real here. Pretty much every day it's not the body that I want. But it's not in a sense of like, what's it called? For me, it's not because of like how it looks. It's kind of like how it functions. But we'll get to that in another video. But, we all struggle with insecurities and different stuff like that. But I feel like if we try to push all of these like weird like mantras of, oh my god, you should love yourself and do this and that, I think it can make people who are more impressionable or vulnerable or sensitive or anything like that feel like, well, if they're not being positive, then they're wrong. Like it's just, I don't know. I just don't think it's good. I don't think it does anything for people. I don't think it does anything for young women. I don't think it does anything for young men. I don't think it does anything for human beings in general. It doesn't make people feel good to like be delusional. You know what I mean? It's like, I saw somebody a few days ago. They're so funny. Juno Birch. She is an amazing trans drag queen. So, if you've never heard of Juno, you should definitely watch it. She does like Sims videos on YouTube. Because I mentioned her, I'll link her in the description, but Juno Birch, she said something really, really funny in a Q&A video that she did recently where somebody asked her like, what is a good tip for confidence? And she said delusion. And it's like, in a way it's true, when people say like, fake it till you make it. But in a way, I also feel like that is not true at all. Sometimes if you delude yourself too much, and you delude yourself to the point that you think you believe it, but you're still miserable, like, and I've been there. I've been the kind of person who is more of an optimist and someone who feels like, okay, well, don't dwell. You know what I mean? You feel like shit today, but tomorrow will be better. But it's like, what do you do when tomorrow isn't better? You know what I mean? It's like, what do you do when every day you look in the mirror and you feel like, I hate my body, like I hate the way I look, or I hate this, or I hate that about myself. And it's like, you can't delude yourself out of it. You can't keep trying to be positive about it because you're lying. Somebody else might see you and not, they think you're so positive, you're being so amazing about this and yada, 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 but it's like, you're lying. You feel like crap. That you don't feel good. And it's like, I think the more people are honest with themselves about how they really feel, the healthier their opinion of things regarding themselves or their lives can be. So I'm a believer of body neutrality. It's not always the body that I want, but it's the body that I have, and some days I don't like it. But it is mine. We're together, we're in this game forever. It's mine, and I have to honor it. I have to respect it, because, more than anything, I deserve respect, and I need it to keep me going. It keeps me moving and grooving and living my life, and I can't do things that actually make me happy and I actually enjoy without this bad boy working, right? So some days I don't like it. Some days I'm gonna look in the mirror, I'm gonna be like, you are a dusty troll and your arms are so long and you should be taller. You know, and if that's the truth of the day, then that's the truth. But I still know that I have to feed my body. I still know that I have to rest. I still know that I should exercise. I still know that I have to do things to take care of it. It's kind of like what people say about like relatives or siblings. You know, like you don't have to like them, but you love them. You know what I mean? Like you don't always like them. You don't always want to spend time with them. You sometimes you even hate them, but you still love them and you still know that they're a part of you. And you know, the same goes for your body. So I think when it comes to doing measurements, it is helpful. I think it really shows people, you know, just kind of what body they're working with. And you can find different styles and stuff that really flatters your shape and your figure and whatever it is. Like, I think that's the most important thing. I mean, I feel like people should wear whatever they want. You know, I'm probably not going to wear just anything just because, like I said, I mean, I know my body. I'm kind of shaped like a little boy. I've said that before, but I have like no curves, you know what I mean? I'm like proportionate, but no, I'm not curvaceous in any way. So I personally wouldn't walk around in like a bodycon or anything like that because I just don't think that it like flatters my body shape. But I can find other things that I personally feel like flatter me and everything like that because I know my measurements. I know what would be a tight look, what would be, you know, a little bit looser, a little bit like this, a little bit like that, and it looks flattering and amazing and I feel good and I feel confident in it. So that is my main advice. Definitely do your measurements. Measurements are so important. I think people should be taught to do them more. Obviously, if you're someone who has a history of, you know, you're a bit more body sensitive when it comes to stuff like that. I'm sure we've all been there. It can be, people can get obsessive with doing measurements and different things like that. I kind of only really do mine if I'm gonna go buy a bra or if I need to go shopping. I don't really shop very often, so you know, you just kind of like keep track of it in that sense. But of course, if you are somebody who struggles more in that sense, you have to be careful with anything. I mean, it goes with anything regarding the body and clothing and all that stuff. You know, getting to the real point of the video, these are some staples that I feel like are integral and important to get at the thrift shop, where you can't beat it, you can't beat the quality, you can't beat the price. So keep on watching. I'm standing up again, right? So first things first, one of the things that I feel like is so integral to buy at a thrift store: jackets. Jackets, 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 jackets. You can get so many incredible, fantastic jackets at the thrift store. There's so many things that you can find for an amazing quality, especially like blazers, like a leather jacket. You can get like shearling jackets, so many things. So I'm going to show you guys some of my favorite stuff that I have. I know I keep like moving the camera around. It's just because my lighting is weird. But yeah, I'm going to show you guys some jackets that I've got at thrift stores, and I'll tell you the price and everything, and kind of give you a good idea of different things you can find. Okay, so this first jacket, this bad boy right here. I got this shearling jacket. It's a shearling crop top jacket. I got it in a thrift store in Texas. I don't remember if it was like Goodwill or just like a random one, but let me put it on. I also got this top in Texas. It was like $2. I got it from like a mom and pop thrift store. It's also kind of like a jacket material, but I just like it. It's cool. It's like westerny. It was like $2, you know? Good quality, thick, you can wear it in winter. So I got this cropped shearling in Texas. I hope I don't have a nip slip, that would not be cute. But yeah, so this is the jacket, see? Nice cropped, whatever sort of thing. $3. I got this for $3 at a thrift store. It's amazing quality. It's a shearling, super warm. You know, when you don't want to wear a full coat. Sometimes it's not cold enough to wear a full coat, but you're still cold on top. I mean, I kind of get cold easily, so I like to wear a coat. But this is just nice and cool, and it's like $3 for this kind of coat at a thrift store. You're never going to find that anywhere else. You're never going to be able to get something of this quality. I think I've had it for like 3 years now, and it's in perfect condition. From the thrift store. Shearling. We got this bad boy. This is a full shearling coat. Dark brown. Nice and snazzy. This is the color. See? So, I also got this at a thrift store. And a lot of thrift stores, what I like as well, a lot of them are connected to charities at times. Not like the Salvation Army. I know, like, people don't like going to Salvation Army because apparently they don't actually do what they say they're doing. But I got this at a thrift store that supports people who suffer from AIDS and HIV. And this was $30. And it is the warmest coat I own. Probably, yeah. It's the warmest coat I own. It's amazing quality. I've had it for like 7 years now. I've worn it in the rain and it's not messed up. It's just super warm. I love the dark brown color. And it's a full-blown shearling. And I got it at a thrift store. A coat like this at a fast fashion store would cost easily like $200 or something like that, or more. If it's good quality. You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't want to get something that's bad quality. You want to be warm. You want to be able to like have an actual winter coat. You know, it's like people spend on average of a real warm winter coat, you know, like a Goose Down coat or a North Face or something, over $150. $30. $30. Leather jackets. So I think in general leather is, I mean, it can be expensive, whether it's real or fake. I don't think I own anything that's real leather. Actually, you know what? A leather jacket that I will show you is real leather, but it's from the year 1980, and it was given to me by my mom. So yeah, it's like, it's super vintage, very vintage jacket. She's had it for 40 years. She gave it to me. That's a real leather. But I think that's the only real leather thing that I actually own. But it's like leather is one of those things that you can't go wrong at a thrift store. I think a leather jacket is a staple in every wardrobe. You know, it's nice. Mine has a pink, like a satin inside, which I liked. I mean, I just thought it was cool, and I couldn't find a leather jacket that I felt like fit me, and I thought was really nice, and it's just like a unique added touch. And I got this at a thrift store downtown, and it was like $20, which you could definitely get a leather jacket for cheaper than that, I will say. You can get a leather jacket for cheaper than that. That's of this same quality. But I think it was worth it because they didn't have anything that was my size, like a nice close fit. That's the only thing that you do have to be careful of, I guess, which is why I recommend, like, doing your measurements, is that a lot of old stuff, a lot of older clothing goes kind of like by measurements. Like you see like old Levi's and stuff, they do like 22, 25, blah, 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 30, 34, yada, yada, yada. You know, they go by those kinds of like old-timey measurements, and so do a lot of like jackets and tops and so many things. So you can do that and find it, and it was like, because I knew my measurements, it took me 2 seconds to be able to find this jacket right here. And I was like, it's perfect. There's nothing else that fits as well as this one. Sold. Another kind of leather that can't be beat, and I genuinely think should be a staple in any wardrobe, but especially if you're buying vintage, leather pants. Some people might think this is like very 80s of me, but I love leather pants. I think they're fabulous. You can put some stockings under them in the winter and feel chic and amazing. These leather pants they're straight legs, so they have a nice baby little flare to them. I got these leather pants downtown for $8. They're perfect size. They fit well. They're a mid-rise jean on me. And it's like the quality can't be beat. You know, like I've never been able to find a leather pair of pants that was like thick, that, like I said, fit me really well, that has this kind of style for this price. You know, it's like, if you want to buy real leather or even vegan leather and not some like flimsy whatever shit that you can get at Forever 21 and H&M, you're probably going to spend over $100. You know what I mean? It's like, to get any kind of good quality in the current like market, you really do have to spend a pretty penny. And now I'm somebody who does believe in quantity. Wow. Quality over quantity. I think that if something is really important to you and it's of a good quality, you should definitely shell out the money. It is worth it if you really feel like you're going to get use out of it. But you can find quality items for a better price when you thrift and when you buy secondhand. So yeah, I mean, leather pants are fucking cool. They're fucking cool. They look good on anyone. I feel like they add edge to an outfit. You could just throw this on with a black t-shirt and a pair of Converse or something and you're good. You look cool, you look understated, you look worked up. And I'm sorry, my mom came into the room. She's actually early. She's supposed to be here in 2 hours. But yeah, leather pants. Can't go wrong. They're amazing. They look cool. Kind of feel like I feel cool. I wear these all the time. Obviously not when it's really, really hot, because you don't want to be like, what is it, that episode of Friends where Ross is just like stuck in his leather pants and he looks crazy and just sweating like nuts. Like, obviously, if it's a thicker kind of material, even if it's like not a real leather, it's gonna be hot. You definitely want to wear more so leather stuff getting closer to the winter months, but I love it. I think it's a look. I think it looks cool. So leather, definitely something that you want to get at the thrift store. But this is the jacket that I mentioned before. That is the real leather jacket. This jacket is 40 years old. It's a vintage cropped leather jacket that my mom gave to me. It's from London because my aunt used to work for the embassy in London in the 80s, so she lived in London for like 7-8 years, and my mom was a really big Anglophile, and I was an Anglophile growing up. I guess I got that from her, but this was something that my aunt was nice enough to get her as a gift, and I mean, it's just like one of the coolest things I own. It fits like a glove. It's amazing. Obviously, it's like priceless in that sense because I didn't buy it, but it's just like, you can't go wrong. Like, you'll never see something like this on the high street in general for this quality that fits you like a glove for free. You know, like, I know that people say that they like shop in their parents' wardrobes and stuff, but that's not a bad idea, especially if you're like similar sizes or anything. I mean, my mom and I are not a similar size, and I will put my sizing in the description below, just, in case anybody is looking at like what I'm wearing and stuff like that, and they're like, I wonder like what kind of sizes would I have, what size would I have to get to kind of have a similar style or look. So I'll definitely put my size and everything with jeans and tops and all that jazz. But yeah, it's like you can't go wrong with this. It's gorgeous. I actually took the shoulder pads out back when I was naive and I didn't realize how amazing shoulder pads really are. I took them out and it took like 2 seconds. And the condition is still perfect. I just hand sewed it back. But you could probably find something similar to this in a thrift shop. You know, if you're gonna try and buy this at a regular fast fashion brand, you're not gonna find it for a decent price. It's just the truth. It's so hard to find pieces like this that are unique and interesting for a good price. Okay. I just wanted to share one blazer too, because blazers are like a big thing that you can get at a thrift store. I got this blazer as a part of a set. Which is, you know, another sort of thing that you can get at a thrift store, like sets and pieces. Yeah, this is not good, just like that. Blazers are amazing things that you can find at a thrift store that you can get. They're always usually really good quality. You know, this came with a skirt set. I didn't want to buy the skirt, but they were like, you can't get the blazer if you don't buy the skirt. But it was only $6, so it really wasn't the worst thing in the world. This also has shoulder pads, but you can always find blazers at a thrift store. I think you're better off getting a blazer at a thrift store than you are anywhere else. I mean, you could go to H&M, you can go to Forever 21. I'm sure there are like websites online that have stuff like that. I don't really know like what is it, like they have Fashion Nova. I know that's like a really big website, like it's a really big website as of late that people like to go and use. They have Princess Polly, I think. That's like one that people like to use and do. But yeah, why go there when you can thrift? You know, it's like $6 for a whole suit. It was a suit, you know, like a suit and a skirt. It's a whole outfit that you're buying for $6, and it's like you can mix and match it. The skirt, I have to like cut it and cut the lining and try to sew it. I don't know how to use a sewing machine. That's like something that I've always wanted to learn. I just kind of know how to hand stitch because I used to make like pillows and stuff like that. But using a sewing machine is like one of those things that I know I need to learn eventually. But yeah, so blazers, definitely something that you can get at a thrift store. Great quality, great sizing, great fit, great look. Pants. Jeans are always something that people struggle with. I know that I struggle with getting jeans, but you can find so many jeans at the thrift store. I've actually noticed that when I go to the thrift store, they usually either have jeans that are like really small. You know, you'll get jeans from the 80s where people were like a 00 and they can't fit into it anymore. And then you get jeans that are like a size double 18. So that can be a little bit hard, but that's why I recommend once again doing your measurements, because with Wrangler, with Levi, with all that stuff, they have the measurement in the back. So this one, look, this is like a 28 waist, 28 length. They're a little short on me, but it's not too bad. They kind of have like a little cropped thing. I'll also include my height in the description box below, but I'm 5'4", so 5 feet and 4 inches tall. I'm not that tall, I'm not that short. Just average height. But yeah, so they usually include the measurements like on the back. So knowing your measurements is important because you can get a perfect fit. Now, I got these jeans. These are Levi's. XYZ. I got these jeans for $3 at a thrift store nearby my house. And they're amazing. So comfortable. They're nice, thick, great denim material. And it's like, where are you going to find Levi's and stuff like that for a good price? Even a lot of the time, brands that claim to be sustainable online will try and sell you jeans and secondhand items for like $70, you know? But if you go to more local shops, even thredUP, I would definitely recommend thredUP for jeans. I've gotten so many pairs of incredible pants for less than $10 on thredUP that fit me like a glove. Like, they fit me so perfectly. I think that's an amazing website to find vintage pants, and they go by your measurements, so you can really get the kind of fit that you're looking for, whether it's baggy, whether it's more tailored, whether it's tight, whatever it is. You can get such a good fit for such a good price on thredUP. Or I would recommend going to your regular like mom and pop kind of thrift stores, because even like you'll see brands, I'm trying to think of some places that, you know, like people will go to the Real, I think, for like more designer items, but even like for stuff like the Break or whatever it is, it's overpriced. Like, I don't understand why people call that sustainability, because it's not. It's greed. Sustainability is about, you know, like equal access. It's like we're all supposed to have access to it so that it's sustainable. It's supposed to be something that everybody can use and everybody can afford so that it lasts. But if you're making a pair of jeans $70, even though you bought it at a wholesale thrift market for $5, you're greedy. You're not doing anything for anyone. You're not doing anything for the environment. You're greedy. That's what I think, at least. So